Hello, my name is Shannon Weinsberg, and I'm going to talk to you today about childhood immunizations. And I'm going to explain this from two different perspectives, those that support it and those that are against it. And so if you notice the slide from the various countries, that's real data in countries where they reduced immunizations, and as a result, these childhood diseases were on the rise or increased. And so there's some people that feel that the reason for autism is because of childhood immunizations. And though no one will know for sure, many people feel that it's because of immunizations. And so in 2000, there was a study done, and they felt that the MMR vaccination contained a chemical, a thermal, that's used as a preservative, and that this was the reason they felt for the autism. Hello, my name is Shanna Weinsberg, and I'm going to talk to you today about childhood immunizations. So, first of all, the reasons why we immunize, and we're going to talk about it from two different perspectives: those that support it and those that are against it. First, those that support it. So, we're going to explain to you from the perspective of the CDC and why they support it. And I'm going to use the analogy of a boat. And if you were in a boat and it was filling with water, you would need to eliminate the water until the water subsided. Well, you couldn't just sit around and wait, because if you did that, then the boat would fill with water again. And so that's the same concept of immunizing our children. We feel that if we do that, we can reduce or control these childhood diseases. And if you stop, these diseases will be on the rise. And so the same way you would have to reduce that water or stop the water from coming in, you would have to fix it. That's the same reason why we immunize. And so that these childhood diseases are eliminated and they help protect our future. And so look at the list from various countries. This data shows where they stopped immunizing. As a result, these childhood diseases increased or occurred. And so around 1970 in Japan, they had a program, and they had the disease pertussis. And about 80% of the children who were immunized tend to have a 35% recurrent rate every year. In 1976, they felt that the immunization was dangerous and that they should stop. And only 10% of the children were immunized. And a few years later, as a result, the disease came back in about 13,000 cases. And they realized that they made a mistake, that they should immunize again. And so they started to immunize again, and as a result, then these childhood diseases decreased. And so you notice that many of these diseases are very dangerous. You have polio, you have hepatitis, you have rubella, you have the mumps, tetanitis. All of these are really dangerous. They can affect the various different things, from mental illness to death. So these things occur and babies all around the world, and mothers as well die as a result of not having these immunizations. And so one of the diseases we can be eliminated, we don't have anymore. But the goal is to reduce them all. And so now we're going to switch our perspective and talk about the people that are against immunizing. There's some people that feel that immunization is the cause for autism. And no one really knows the true reason for autism, but they feel that it's as a result of immunizing. And so in 2000, they decided to do a study, and they discovered that for the MMR vaccination, there's a chemical that's contained, thermal, used as a preservative, and many people felt that this was the reason for autism. And studies also showed that once they eliminated that, they felt that it may have been safer. They wasn't sure. But later, the studies now, there are no studies to help support that. So they've eliminated that, but we still see increased rates of autism. They've eliminated that chemical. Other people that feel that vaccines aren't safe. And that the CDC has their reasons, but for supporting it, but they aren't safe. You see these advertisements in newspapers, people that feel that it aren't safe, but in these newspapers and studies, they really aren't supportive for the vaccinations. So as a result, we see an increase in illnesses. Interpreter seeks clarification. So we see the cycle, this vicious cycle continues here in America and in other countries as well, where they stop and start the immunizations. And so the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, supports vaccination. There's no question about that. And they always have, and they always will. And so you notice the chart about when you should vaccinate your child. And it explains everything, how old the child should be, the different names of the vaccinations, how many times they need to be administered. And so if you want more information specifically regarding to immunizations and the name of the vaccination, you can go to the website, www.cdc.org. Thank you. I've finished this video.